Good evening, welcome to QUT Web News.
Good evening.
Brisbane homicide detectives are investigating a suspicious death after a woman's body was found in a Kangaroo Point apartment. Police were called to the Goodwin Street high-rise early this morning and spent much of the day collecting evidence. Investigators say the 68-year-old woman's body was found by a man who was staying with her.
Certainly the gentleman that reported her and located her deceased has been assisting us with our inquiries, as have a number of other people.
Police are appealing for anyone who was in the vicinity between 8:30 last night and 5:30 this morning to call Crime Stoppers.
There's been a crucial breakthrough in the murder mystery of a mother and her young daughter, whose remains were found in 2 states and 5 years apart. Detectives made the double murder link after tip-offs and DNA testing.
Carly Jade Pierce-Stevenson and her daughter Candelise were last seen in November of 2008 near Coober Pedy, South Australia. In 2010, a cyclist stumbled across Carly's remains in the infamous Belangolo State Forest. Earlier this year, the remains of her daughter found in a suitcase discarded beside a highway in South Australia. 2 different calls to Crime Stoppers provided the breakthrough information, allowing detectives to make the connection between the murdered mum and her little girl. But the search for their killer, or killers, is still wide open.
Those people that are responsible for this crime are truly evil and must be quickly caught and held to account.
Detectives believe both victims died extremely violent deaths. Officers in at least 3 states are working together to chase down multiple leads.
All I can say is that we're pursuing a lot of lines of inquiry. We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Police are appealing for more information. Locals say Carly and her daughter deserve our help.
She's got a name. She's someone's child.
She can have a proper funeral and finally put the rest.
Cassandra Dimitrov, QUT News.
A newly evolved report card for South-East Queensland waterways has been released. The findings were generally fair, but our waterways are facing growing pressures.
Healthy Waterways has been monitoring the condition of the South-East River catchment areas for 15 years. But under the new water benefits rating system, the level of social and economic benefit is now also being measured.
There are still clearly areas within our region where the catchments in particular are still in very poor condition.
Noosa has the highest and healthiest rating in the northern catchment, with Maroochy and Mooloolah falling behind. The central catchment was also graded poorly, as lower Brisbane and Redlands continue to suffer from high urban pollutant loads. It was a similar story for the southern catchment zones, with Logan getting a D. And long-term vegetation clearing has left key western catchments in a very poor state.
Within this deep pool of findings, a new critical issue has been exposed. It's the impact of increased sediment in our waterways, and it requires immediate attention.
Our problem now is mud. It's runoff from non-point sources.
The sediment blocks marine plants and wildlife from the sun's rays, essential to their existence.
It's a bit of money and a bit of targeted investment, and I'm sure that we have all the tools available to be able to solve this problem once and for all.
The Queensland Government says it's strongly committed to continuing its partnership with Healthy Waterways. Aaron Cronin, QUT News.
Brisbane's newest hospital, the Mater Private Hospital in Springfield, is gearing up to open next week. And to make sure everything will operate smoothly, a world-first 24-hour medical simulation is currently underway.
And is it painful?
From this morning and throughout the night, the $85 million hospital will go through many different scenarios to prepare staff for the opening. They'll be run and repeated with mock patients over 4 shifts, on both the clinical and administrative level.
We're also running a number of codes where things go wrong and how we deal with those.
In this case, a patient requires emergency treatment but needs more specialised care. So it's an urgent transfer to another hospital.
Whatever the clinicians are doing on the day, whether it be nurses, doctors, physicians, ambulance people, and then I just have to completely go into that persona so that I can be as real as I can.
And each of these simulations is designed to expose any potentially life-threatening issues. Staff here at the new hospital are practising everything from transferring patients to and from beds to delicate theatre operations.
There's been a real buzz here this morning and people are really feeling that this is happening. We're excited and the teams are working really well together.
This whole exercise will be documented in the hope that the 80-bed private hospital can begin admitting patients from next Wednesday. Paxton Roth, QUT News.
Australian nominees will be vying for this year's highly regarded Asia Pacific Screen Awards. It's the 9th annual Brisbane-based event and is open to both homegrown and international filmmakers.
Last year, this Iraqi film won the major United Nations Award. It recognises the promotion of cultural diversity through film. This year, all eyes will be on the Australian production Spear.
This is a testament to the strength of filmmaking in what has been a bumper year for Australian cinema.
The awards are considered to be the Asia Pacific Oscars. They'll feature 4 local entries.
I'm going to turn you into a Snuggie.
As a city, we are very pleased to be able to be the permanent home to acknowledge the important place that film has within our cultures and bringing people together.
Winners receive handcrafted trophies by glass artist Joe Bone. Joe uses a roll-up technique to create the vessels, which is Italian in origin. Timing, accuracy and hours of work are crucial to the process. They're inspired by the colours in different cultures.
And I get some fantastic comments from directors and past winners of some of the awards.
But it's the films that will take centre stage.
This film is about what happened to my culture.
Mary Claire Simpson, QUT News.
Final preparations are underway for one of the Gold Coast's biggest parties of the year. It's centred around the Gold Coast 600 V8 supercar race and organisers are predicting record crowds both on and off the track.
This is what more than 200,000 people come here for. 3 days of high-octane racing and partying.
With Mick Asala.
And even though it's a big boost to the local economy, it causes gridlock for those who are still hard at work. Trackside, however, it was all smiles.
Well, I think this one is really exciting for all the drivers because it's a bit more of a party carnival. I think that's always had that tag.
But tomorrow for these drivers, it's game on when practice begins.
You talk about it all week, you know, and it's fantastic because you're hyped, but then it's nice to actually stop talking and get in the car Friday morning for the first time.
A prediction of rain could make things slippery on the notoriously narrow street track. But ultimately, there is an air of anticipation.
If you come back with your side mirrors on, you're not trying hard enough.
Lowndes says whilst wet weather is not ideal when it comes to the GC 600 track, the walls are there to catch you. The track action isn't all there is to look forward to this weekend. With Cold Chisel cruising in to support the exciting party atmosphere the Gold Coast 600 is renowned for. Most trackside accommodation vantage points are booked out, but there are still spectator tickets available. Lauren Geldard, QUT News.
Sport of Australia Hall of Fame Awards has named Jason Day as the most inspirational Australian athlete. The golfing star received the coveted Don Award only months after claiming his first major title.
It was all glitz and glamour in Melbourne last night, where sporting greats gathered to highlight their achievements. For Jason Day, it's been a hat-trick of successes. First, the USPGA, then claiming the world #1 spot, and now the Hall of Fame. Day's mother Denning accepted the award. He spoke by video link.
I couldn't think of a better person to receive the award. She's been my biggest supporter and she sacrificed so much for me.
Day had tough competition, including former league star Jared Hayne, Mick Fanning and the Socceroos. Former Australian netball star Anne Sargent was crowned the 37th Legend of Australian Sport, the first netballer to receive the award. Liesl Jones swam her way into the Hall of Fame this year. She joins a who's who of sport in this year's award inductees: Ricky Ponting, Casey Stoner, Ryan Bailey, Helen Brownlee, Priya Cooper, John O'Neill and Norm Proven. Giselle Gadella, QUT News.
Time now for a look at the weather. The storms predicted for this afternoon hit the city just after 4 p.m, putting on a sound and light show. The torrential rain stuck around the middle of the peak hour, reducing visibility and turning the motorway into a car park. Early cloud cover made for a warm start to the day. It was already 26 degrees in Brisbane by 10 a.m, peaking at a top of 29. 25 degrees on the Gold Coast, 30 the top for Ipswich. Looking around the nation tomorrow, showers and 21 in Sydney. If you're flying down for the cricket in Canberra, fine weather expected, but bring a jacket. 19 the top for Melbourne, cooler still in Hobart with tops of 17. Much warmer in Darwin, sunny and 34. Back to Queensland and a sunny day tomorrow for Cairns at 31 degrees. More storms in Rocky, 35 the top. 30 in Bundaberg and very warm Longreach, 37 degrees. Finally, the 3-day outlook for Brisbane. Clouds and possibly a few showers tomorrow, a top of 28. Then partly cloudy for Saturday and Sunday as well. That brings you up to date with the weather.
And that's all the news we have for now.
We'll be back tomorrow with more QUT Web News. Goodbye.
Goodbye.